Hey everybody, welcome back. Tonight I'm in a square tent with a wood stove and I'm on the Canadian Shield and I'm all alone. This place is used from time to time, but I've never ever seen anybody here. And I've come here a few times. Now for me, one of the most important things when camping is finding a place that's flat and nice and level. And it's not easy when you're on the Canadian Shield. That's one of the drawbacks. But if you find a spot, then you can't beat it. You really can't. This lichen right here, really dry right now, but when it's wet, it's almost like stepping on ice. It's so slippery. And I've got some really nice boots here with a really nice thick Vibram sole, and they grip really nicely on this rock. In fact, I would say they're just about perfect, right? But that lichen can get really dangerous and very, very slippery. Now, I'm seeing a lot of dead wood here. This stuff, like all of this right here, is my kindling for tonight. There's so much of it around, so this is perfect. See how dry it is? Oh yeah, that's gonna burn like a dream. I've got all these dead sticks here. I've got a new folding saw that I've never used before. I'm gonna take advantage of all of this dead wood that's lying around, and I should keep myself nice and toasty tonight with my wood stove, which is a small little wood stove, and I'm really excited to show you guys this because it's the smallest wood stove I have ever used. Some of the oldest rocks in the world are around where I am on the Canadian Shield, billions of years old. This rock right here, in all likelihood, I mean, don't quote me on this, but there's a good chance that this was just dropped here by a glacier at one point. This could be Ice Age stuff, these giant rocks that are resting here, and ancient rocks. This is the first time I've ever opened this particular tent. I've used a couple of RBM tents in the past, and I'm a big fan of RBM, and there will be links in the description. I see that there's a lot of bugs that are on the lens right now. You guys should see how many bugs are around me. It's mad. For this time of year, there should be ice forming on the lakes. And I've never set it up. I'm doing it now for the first time. But like most things, I watched on YouTube how to do it. Oh. It should be pretty fast to set up. Let's see if it's as easy as they say. Okay, so what you're supposed to do is pop out the side like that. Okay, there's one. Straightforward. Pop out the other side. Right here is the stove jack. And so I'm going to open it now because it's nice and low instead of opening it when the tent is popped up. Just easier to do it this way. So they've got these really nice loops for you to grab. I've been stepping on it by mistake. There you go. Oh. Just like that. That is easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up through the middle. And good to go. And it's light. And it's got a floor built in. I just need to get it into place. It's actually bigger than I thought it would be. So I got to work on that. I got to figure out if this is where I want it to be. So it is nice in here. Look how bright it is. Beautiful. And it's bigger than I thought. So here's the stove jack on the roof. And you can see it's got metal rings, which is what you want. So that's great. And it's got some toggles here. I'm not going to do it right now. This is for the mesh that goes on top that you guys saw me with there earlier. I've got some windows. Toggles, always. What do we got here? Great. And as you guys can see, it's double walled, right? So extra insulation. Air acts as an insulator in between the walls. Oh, that's 2 windows there. 3, holy smokes. Then you got a plastic. How many they got here? A lot of windows. And then one on the outside. Sure I can, oh, I see, you just push it. There you go. And then you just go like this. And then you have your venting, right? So now I'm venting. And then on the outside, I would just lift up the camouflage material. And you've got another one right here. You've got some pouches in the ceiling, which is great. And here you can see I've got a giant screen door. So these are the zippers right here. And I'll do this later tonight. And this whole thing opens up. And then I can have a screen door coming down if I want to keep bugs out. And as well, if I don't, I just have a really nice opening there. So I'm happy with that. And you can see the tent comes with a zippered in floor. RBM is just, I really love the company. Okay, this should be enough wood for the night. The thing is it's so old and so dead that it's going to burn hot and fast. I'm going to use this as my base for the fire. And I found a bunch of birch just on the ground. And so it's filled with actual rotten birch tree. But I think it'll take a spark. So now I've got a little secret trick here. I found some really, really thin birch. And I feel like that will light first strike. Let's see. Oh, it wants to. There we go. Okay. Okay. I'm pretty satisfied. The stove comes in a really nice carrying case, and this stove is really small for me. It really is. It's about as long as my forearm. But it's the only stove that works with this tent. And I looked at it earlier today, and it's simply beautiful. And not only because it's a gorgeous stainless steel stove, but what they've done now is they've added a really beautiful design to the window that I just love. So you get extra plates here to go around the side of the stove. This is my fireproof mat. I get a carbon monoxide detector. This is the top of my chimney. Gloves, by the way, you get gloves. A little scoop, and that's as big as you need because the stove is so small. And there's some instructions here. And so here's the fireproof mat. And you really, this is important. This goes down before anything. And it's gonna sit here primarily in front of the stove. So because you think about the back of the stove, what's the chance that sparks are going to fly out of the back of the stove? But on the front of the stove, that's where you can run into trouble. So I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to take this, position it this way. Oh man, you guys wait till you see this. It is really beautiful what they've done. Just wing nuts. And I love that because you don't have to mess around. You just loosen things and they pop off. And look at this. Look at that. Can you guys see that? It's got a beautiful design with some trees and a bear and mountains. That is gorgeous. And that is just going to look so nice tonight when the fire is glowing. So this stove has a really small pipe, and they're all the same size. All the pipes are the same size, and they come out the front of the stove, the top at the front of the stove, because there's a baffle in the stove. Now, before I get excited here, too excited, I got to put on the legs. And the legs are a cinch to put on. Now, if you've watched my channel, you've seen me do this before. They're a cinch. Am I going to go this way? There you go. That one is on. I'm not going to get a fire going right now inside the tent. I'm going to wait a little bit. Like, how amazing is that setup? There you go. Look at that. So this right here is the top, right? That's your rain guard and your spark arrestor. And it just simply slides on. Everything fits perfectly. Everything is the same size. It doesn't matter which pipe goes where. If I wanted to do it like that, I could just do it like that. This is really interesting. So for some reason, they've got like a little guard here. So this sits here like this, right? And then the air goes through here, but they've got this guard welded on. So I guess that's to really control the amount of air that's getting through, because I guess with it being so small, this thing can just burn really fast and really hot. And yeah, I guess what it does is it controls how fast your fire burns. So you got that. I always just use this guy right here to control my burn. So it looks like there's multiple things happening. Okay. It's not a huge space, but it's perfect. I really love it. So I'm going with the cot. I always go with the cot if I can. It just feels better when you're sleeping. So that's how I roll. The one great thing about cots is you can put stuff underneath of them, right? So if I was sleeping here without a cot, I'd have all the stuff around me, but now I'm elevated, stuff can sit underneath of me. This sleeping bag has been to hell and back with me. The best money I ever spent. It's good for like minus 30 or 40. Just amazing. It's definitely the smallest tent I've ever been in, and I know it might look pretty big, but I've got a foot length to the stove. I'm touching the stove here with my foot, so I'm close. You cannot beat these tents. These tents are fast to set up. They're just ready to go. They're double walled. They're super quality. They're all you need. So I've got the pipe. I'm going to put it down in there. And then I'll connect it on the inside. Nice and easy. There we go. All right. I was going to cut these indoors, but I decided that onion's probably going to smell up that tent pretty good. And there are still bears around. A bushcraft knife isn't necessarily the best knife for cutting food. It's very thick. What I want to do is get really, really thin squares for this corned beef hash. Really thin, so the potatoes cook pretty quickly. There we go. Okay. Oh, that's going to be good. Ooh, so hot. Burn my fingers. Ooh, that is so hot. Oh my gosh, that is insanely hot. I gotta get a stick to break that up. And this is coming along beautifully. Oh. You want the corned beef just to break up into fine little bits. Oh man. That right there, folks, is a plate of perfection. That is like perfectly done. Oh, yes. Oh baby. Now traditionally this would be served with a breakfast for some people and an egg. But this is how I'm having it tonight, just like that. And what I like to do is cover it in ketchup. Oh yeah, I know what some of you are saying. I just ruined that meal. But not for me. Oh baby. Here goes. First bite. Oh, that's excellent. That is excellent. Oh, man. Wow. When I'm camping, I always use alcohol wipes to clean stuff. And I love having just a pack of wipes with me every time. Wipe my hands down, wipe down my dishes, just to get a half a decent clean. I would cook right on that again after wiping it down with this alcohol pad. I have no issues with that. And by the way, these Gotham steel pans, I know they're not cast iron and I know they're not traditional pans for camping, but it's a clean pan real fast. You get it clean real fast, and they're pretty tough, I gotta say. So you'll probably be seeing more of these types of pans on my channel, just because I think they just work. Yeah, look at that. Check it out. Oh man, that is deadly. That is amazing. Wow. Wow. Holy. If I wanted to, I could just leave it like this, use the screen door, have a fire, warmth from the fire, screen door, fresh air out here. How awesome is that? That's amazing. Yes. That is a cool feature. I am in love with that. I really am. Because now I can just go in and out with my wood. I can move freely. I love that this is a small tent. I wanted to do a small tent tonight, and it's turning out to be like this magnificent castle. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the stove, and I'll have like a nice little warm area in here just for me to hang out in. Now, if it was really windy, I would not be doing this. This is different for me. A few more. Let's see here. Let's go. She's doing good now. See how it goes here. Whew, that's hot. This is deadly. Oh yeah. So this is Northern Lights in real time. Often I will do time lapses because the time lapse really brings them out, because you're taking all these little pictures, right? And you just stitch the pictures together, and wow, look at them go. Holy. They are going. If there was no moon tonight, holy smokes, these things would be popping. Morning. Looks nice out. Can see my breath a little bit. Not much though. It's nice and crisp. That's a way to start the day. Look at that. What a night. I had a great night last night. I slept hard in that tent. And it's a nice little tent. I was very warm all night long. And I stoked the stove a couple of times. I had to put wood in it a couple of times for sure. But for these conditions, it is perfect. Get all that butter and all that fat on that bread. A little bit of instant coffee. Yes. So I love eggs, but I haven't eaten eggs in a while, like regularly, because I think I might have a bit of a sensitivity to eggs. If I didn't, there would be eggs on this plate. Oh man, this is amazing. Yes. A little bit of coffee to wash it down. Very good. Oh, I'm loving this little setup. I'm outside and I'm inside. I can't get over how these little bugs are still surviving. It just goes to show that this has been, for us, an insanely warm fall that is just never ending. But the forecast is excellent. Temperatures are going to be going below freezing very soon. And we're going to be getting snow, and hopefully the lakes start to solidify. And I am crossing my fingers that I'm walking across my lake to the tent the main tent within a month. I had really wanted it to be within the next week or two, but I can't see it happening. But if we get a really good drop in temperatures, then it'll just speed everything up. So yeah, it's been a weird fall, but it's not stopping me. Keep an eye out, and you'll be seeing on most Mondays videos from me throughout the fall, winter, and into the spring. So thanks so much for watching. I'll be back really soon.